Hello and welcome. I am doing this as a recording. It's not a live. So uh, it's one of those days. What can I say? Thought I'd record it and make sure that I can get the information up for you all. So, welcome. And uh, my name's Mary June Tracy. And, you know, I've decided to do a little bit of changes. Somebody mentioned the word awakening mentor, and I'm like, I love that. And wellness astrologer. I like that. So I'm going to try and implement that into what I do and start bringing the awakening mentor in. And, it aligns with the spiritual love of life coach. And I love the idea of a wellness astrologer. So I thank you for joining me, and I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate your support when I am doing these. Your kindness and your love, and you're generous with the energy and the beauty that you bring forth into my life and into my community. So thank you very much. Today's such a delicious day. It's not only February 14th, but it is the day of Venus and Freya. And because there's this beautiful love, and with Mercury going into Pisces, there's just something really delicious about this energy today. And we are in human design, gate 30, and the desires and the emotions. And it's just in the earth and in the grounding. And we're also in gate 29. That's in the sacral, which is like more about taking that deep dive into the feelings. Oh, I know, I know. I can hear many of you saying, I don't want to get into the feelings. But like it's not so much about the event or the situation. It's more about the feeling that it creates within you. We are really getting into the shifting into where that's just our way of operating, right? And so much goodness. And I must admit that I'm super excited just to see some of the changes that are happening in the States. And I'm hoping that a lot of that will trickle off into other nations as well. And especially seeing RFK Jr. Confirmation. I think that's I think that's a very positive move, and to see how that is going to come in about the health and wellness, and it's reclaiming our health. And I think a lot of what happens within the states, I live in Canada, so a lot that happens in the states trickles off. So I'm very stoked about that. And being in the holistic and wellness and the woohoo area for over 30 plus years, yeah, it's really, I think, is a positive move. And I felt very reflective, and it's positive energy, especially with all with these channels. So being quite aligned and getting back to where we were and what we need to know, and especially upon this planetary bodies, and to assist us, of course, in getting through layers of distortions and the patterns that have been rooted you know, in our origins, in our energetic code of fear. And that's part of our blueprint, of which the patterns get created and expressed, and the layer and layer through the express into our current life. And then of course, can be brought right into the previous lifetime and even through your own lineage. So this DNA coding, it gets expressed. However, we have the power within us to transform and change this. And we are in this long process, right, of getting really deep in there and returning to our divine soul blueprint for it. And it actually be expressed right in its divine expression. We are in this, and we don't want to distort it into this golden age and the golden light that has been streaming down for quite some time now, and expressing in our imaginary energy and the frequencies that are encoded into, I think it's 111141 hertz, which is the mastery of 888 884, that abundance and wealth, and the 963, that is the frequency that helps connecting with the higher self. And it's God's frequency connecting to our higher plans and consciousness. So all of that is assisting us right now. And as I've been talking about this process and coming into these gates, and the gate 30 of emotional center, this is correspondent to the solar plexus, which is our directive. It's our power center. You know, when somebody's being guided by their solar plexus, it's amazing because you can see it, right? It's like they walk into a room and they're kind of looking, and their solar plexus will take over to say sit here or go here. It's really amazing when you really connect with that part of ourselves, and it is our power center, right? And we just came off this beautiful full moon, this full moon streaming. It was bright, it was beautiful. And as we're entering into this waning, it continues to come up and helping us to release and transform, and being in that gate of desire in the emotional center. And all about the feelings, about, can you let go of what you right now, of what you're harboring, of, because there's so much squaring over to, um, for us to be honest, for us to let go of the tension. And there is tension, and especially with Saturn squaring over to um, Uranus right now. And this is bringing in our uniqueness and trying to bring forth our uniqueness. And there's a little bit of a struggle when it comes forth when we're trying to do this. So this is into some deep dives and coming into our uniqueness and individuality, and being who you are, with the kind of consensus of thinking, right, that we're not, we're, how can I say this? We're letting go. And it's sometimes we've got a year, we've got the year of the snake, of the shedding, and it's happening on such deep levels in our unconscious. And we are all desire change and healing right now. And this is bringing in some beautiful energy and the collective. And there's a lot to be able to crystallize and think about, especially when it feels as we're going into that Mercury into Pisces. And I think this is where we want to take a lot of the positive of this, of allow ourselves to come into the imaginary and to come into the creative and the dreams, and allow ourselves to come in and crack through a lot of these layers. And I keep seeing this egg as this light is coming through this egg, and it's cracking and it's opening. And this is part of where the gate 29, where the earth is grounding its desires into the sacral, and it's really getting involved. So where it feels good, this is following those feelings, and allowing ourselves that genuine alignment within who we are. And it's such beautiful beauty. And we have Jupiter. We have the square of Jupiter, and then we have, with Saturn and trining over to Uranus. This is bringing in a lot of honest energy, and we're bringing forth this beautiful energy of transformation and change. And it's very magnetic, and it's wanting us to feel the magnitude and the magneticness. How can I say magneticness of bringing forth the change and allowing us to release a lot of these layers. We are in a health crisis in many ways in our world. We're in a health crisis of spiritually, mentally, physically, and we are finding that many of us are craving to enter into a healthier way. Hence, I'm doing the divine wellness journey. I'm going to divine wellness journey. I just say so, but the divine wellness journey of entering into the divine will. And that's part of the spiritual journey. And when we can enter into that spiritual journey, we can enter into a place where we are able to bring forth not only the mental wellness, but the physical wellness. Because the spiritual is helping us to understand that we have help, that there is more to us than just the physical body. And also have where Pluto is. Pluto's in this gate of imagination, and he's going to be there for quite some time. And it's down in the root center, so of, right into human design. And it's being expressed through one line right now, the knowledge seeker. So really it's taken a deep dive and created something that is right, that's wanting us to balance and work. And we also have with that Mars retrograde in Cancer of safety and security and wanting to bring forth that balance. And then Mars is trining over to Saturn and squaring Chiron. And I could feel this energy is going to help us to release a lot of patterns, a lot of stagnant energy that's coming in there. And in this current energy that's within our body, it's allowing us to get through the fascias and the nerve systems and helping us to light this up. And I recommend blue light, getting into the blue energy. The blue energy is calm. It's bringing forth uh, nutritional energy. It's bringing in forth where we are wanting to bring forth the good qualities of what we are wanting to ingest within our bodies. The other things that, I feel like with the blue is like wrapping ourselves up in a cozy blanket and just getting all lovey and cozy and that. The other part too is ashwanga. If you can get some ashwanga, is really good for the nerves and is amazing. And it helps us to highlight and break through, especially through the adaptogens. So the ashwanga works really well with the adaptogens, helping to heal them, calm them down. Also, holy basil. If you can get some holy basil tea, absolutely fabulous as well. The other part that keeps coming in is Roman chamomile. Roman chamomile actually works with parasites in that too. It is a one that helps us for calmness, for peace, and bringing in that calmness and peace into our life. Helps us in relaxation, helps us to be able to listen and bring in some beautiful um, warmth in the sunlight. It's yellow, right? So that yellow energy coming out, right, through us and purifying us at this time. So this will really help with any self-doubt and sabotage limitations, and really letting things go and release at all the points. I also feel like the rib cage too is how we express ourselves. The rib cage is connected to Cancer, so it's like the breastplate, right? And in that rib cage, if you just rub your rib cage, just go along, it's like holy crap. Or even along the sides, just gently along the sides, um, you will find that it's like whoa. And there's a lot to be released there because we hold a lot there, right? So allowing that, and even if you can get some chamomile oil and mix it with jojoba or some type of carrying oil, and just allow and rub it along your rib cage, rub it along the sides. It'll really help release a lot that you're carrying in those areas. So it's beautiful. Roman chamomile has a spiritual purpose. This is also connecting you to higher selves and your higher self. So bringing that forth into your life will really help to create more positiveness into your life. So with bringing in the Roman chamomile, and it helps with boundaries too, where we do need to establish those boundaries and establish better boundaries, right? Of how we feel to identify ourselves, how we want to step in, and really getting into that expression and into the health. And I find like today, like the last 2 days I was off, And I felt like, oh my God, I just sort of sat around. Yeah, it's cold outside, but it's just like, you know what? I really got to change things up. I really got to, and I feel like my body's yearning to get moving, get going, and wanting to do these changes, right? And I know this is a long process. This is a balancing between the nature and technology, and we're coming into this newness of what this all means and trying to bring this balance into it. And a lot has been being talked about Atlantis. And a lot of people are coming in with a lot of memories of Atlantis and the vision of Atlantis, which I find very interesting because Atlantis was had a lot of technology to my understanding and to what I've read. And how they utilized that technology. And I feel like we're coming into this time of Atlantis, of this new technology, and learning how to balance it with nature. And so it's not too overpowering, but I feel too rather taking some deep dives on it and really looking into our own spiritual connection with it and our spiritual connection with our higher selves. So, uh, since Pluto has left Capricorn, we've had so many situations and transits that, these codes that are literally um, awakening us. They're coming into our bones, codes literally in our bones, changing. It's like, with our rib cages, because Capricorn ruled the bone, the structure, right? And now, as this has happened over the last several years, now we're coming in and we're wanting to realign this, to bring this out. And I feel it's a great time to journal. And if you don't like journaling, maybe have a process of voicing it out or doing some talk messaging would be absolutely fabulous to do that. So I didn't bring my cards to work, but I feel like this is a time of connecting and transformation. Bringing in those oils is really an important piece for us. And yeah, I this is a weekend, I feel, of how do you want to transform yourself. I did that Envisioning 2025 workshop. It's still available if you are wanting to get the Envisioning 2025 workshop. It just helps to get you connected. It's not a long workshop. It's sort of giving you the tips, and there's also a booklet that goes along with it. Uh, to how you want to change or how you want to release within yourself. And being the year of the snake, that's totally what it is this year. So, on that note, I'm going to love you so much and send you out so much love and light for today. Yeah, have a beautiful one, everyone. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.